Go in the mosh pit and not the two-step pit, because that's not the pit you want to be in.
Real quick, what's the two-step pit?
Okay, all right, mosh pit. You see mosh pits, the shoving and pushing and circle pitting. It's all fun. That's more punk. That's more punk and metal. Now the hardcore bands, you gotta be careful with that, because they like to throw their fists. That's where you start seeing the spin. That's the one where you see the spin kicks and them throwing their arms. Yeah, that's the dangerous pit. When you see the two-step pit happen, back up. I'd say that.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man. Happy 420. I said that.
Oh yes, I'm smokes. Drink a beer for 420. Really quick, man. Just so y'all know, this is Elijah of KILJOY behind the camera. Y'all can't see me. Today we got some very special guests. One you might recognize. The other one you will recognize in the future. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves for everybody.
My name is Stephanie Stoll.
I'm Pablo Garcia.
For sure. And look, man, so we're here for a very special reason today, right? Do you guys want to tell everybody what that reason is?
We got a big show coming up, Rockin, and we have a special announcement too. We've announced it a little bit already, but Stephanie is like officially joining our team as the head of the hip hop division for AIE.
That's dope. That's dope. So you said AIE. What is AIE?
It's all inclusive entertainment. So it's basically anything you need when it comes to it. We try to do all kinds of stuff when it comes to, not just booking events. If you want to rent gear, if you need connections to DJs, if you need food vendors, anything from porta potties at porta potty connections, people that we give us deals based because we send them to you, so they charge less. So, we try to build those connections and use them over again, and it's pretty much everything is local as well. So that's why it's 661 AIE actually. But we do just about everything in entertainment as much as we can, from promotion. We've done a small bit of management, tour setups. So we are just an all-around full-blown entertainment company.
That's dope. I don't think Bakersfield has anything. I mean, I've never really heard anything like this, except the little tidbits here and there where people partner up with everybody else to do it. But this is dope to have like a festival style. Like I said, I'm not from Bakersfield. This is my first time hearing about it. And then the hip hop stage.
Yeah.
Which is this a new position for you that you're curating?
It is in a way, because it's a festival base, but I've created hip hop shows for over 9 years here in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
So, but getting to create my own hip hop stage and my own lineup within the festival is amazing. It's my first time, so I'm excited.
That's dope. So the name of the show is called Rockin' Roots.
No, Rockin. Roots Rockin. No, it's all good. It's all good.
Don't cut that out.
No, it's a good effect. It's a good effect. It's what it's supposed to do.
So what inspired the name?
One, because it's all about the roots. It's all about Bakersfield and in this event, and taking care of our artists as well is one of the huge things I feel like we do in AIE. We make sure, it's crazy to hear how you go to a show and you play out of town, or you go play a show as an artist and you don't get a bottle of water. You got to pay for your bottle of water. You got to pay for your food. You get nothing. You're just like, it's almost like it's a privilege for you to be there. And I think it's kind of messed up for especially these larger companies that, they do this and then they make it feel like, oh, you're lucky to be in the building performing at my event. Right. And I feel like this is an event too where I'm making sure all the artists are very well taken care of. We have food sections and they're not gonna have to pay for stuff. We're making sure, and we're trying to make sure they get paid too. A lot of times we pay our local artists, whether it be only $50, I mean, when I have 7-8 artists on the lineup, $50, 7-8 ways adds up. It adds up. Hey, I'm just saying. We go it's just we try to take care of our artists, and that's what this is really about. And having a fest that's really mixed. So in this festival, you're getting a little bit of everything. I wanted to have a little bit more indie, but we do have a good amount of indie music, hip hop. We have hardcore, punk, acoustic. We have a small section for reggae. I tried to bring a little bit more, but the band we had, some things came up. But it's just really an event that I want to do to really appreciate and give to these artists, and then really build them a platform, do this and give them shout outs and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. We have and it's so much good music too. Like we have what I consider the biggest metal band, deathcore band, and punk bands on the bill, let alone, and a good up and coming hardcore scene bands and good up and coming indie artists. Because I've worked with a ton of artists in town, and I want to make this actually 2 days. If it goes as good, I want to make it a 2-day thing so I can even include even more bands and more artists. Because I feel like I was shortened. I feel like I was like.
You can only fit so many.
Yeah.
And like another thing, like with Roots Rockin, we want to be able to connect artists with other artists and become inspired. So bringing and also highlighting not just the artists that are performing, vendors, your local vendors, your small businesses, and just really getting a community base and like showing Bakersfield that, hey, this is what you have here and you can enjoy it all in one spot. 2 stages. You have your homegrown artists here. I try to refrain from saying local because
true.
we want to because everybody has a star to shoot up to, and everybody has a sky that they want to be up in, and there's no limitation. So I feel like when it comes to saying the word local, I try to refrain from it. And I know we're all guilty of it,
right.
But I've been taking different perspectives and really how an artist, they want to shoot farther, and we're just not. We want to be homegrown, but I know that some of them want to grow outside. However, we want to bring Bakersfield attention to the music artists here, and we want to bring an attention to here. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I assume a lot of the artists are homegrown.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll use that. You'll use that. Yeah, I am too. My mistake. Right there.
Hey, just credit.
Yeah.
No, I was
You heard it
kidding.
here first.
You heard it here first.
Homegrown
KILJOY
artists.
Mag.
It is 420, so.
Yeah, right. So who are some of... We're going to get into the hip-hop stage because I know you're curating it, so I want to get all about it. But who are some of the artists that are going to... The homegrown artists that are going to be performing?
Okay, so from our heavier side, we have Grave Void, death metal band, huge. And that's a good term to say homegrown because they're big, not just Bakersfield.
Right.
They when they play out of town, they have huge crowds. Bear King is a big one. They're hardcore music. I heard. They just
Bear
actually signed with Black Label? No, Black Label. They're goth clothing brand. Blackcraft, that's what it was. They just signed with Blackcraft to as like a merch, sponsor.
Congratulations to them.
So they just signed with them, and then in our punk scene we have it's GHAD, the short God, but it's Greed and Human Disgust. Punk band, amazing. Same thing. Iron Sight. Pump Fake is a young hardcore band. They're all like 19, and they're high energy, great. We have Aveline, Victus, indie bands, really good. They're a little low. They have a little bit of low content right now, but they're great. Their sound is amazing. And
we
then
have Rand too, Jadea.
Yeah, is Jadea Rand. Those are more of because Jadea too, singing R&B, amazing voice. Like he makes singing look easy. Like
he does.
He looks like he's relaxed, and you see him hit pitches,
a star
and
on stage too.
It's insane watching him sing. It's always just like, and he does different. He's like different kind of accents in singing too, like. Dead on. So when it comes to our band size, and that's more of what we have.
Spanish.
Yeah, wild. And he sings it good.
I love him.
And he sings good.
Jadea, we love you.
Yeah.
Talent to be able to switch and start singing in Spanish. That's a talent.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then for our hip hop side, she's the one that curated and really selected a lot of the hip hop.
Yeah. We have quite a bit of a list, the bill for hip hop. I think it's pretty big too. Like you have Baby Ricky, you have Afta, Riddy K, you have Goofy, Slim Saucy, and Braun, and
Slim's in the man.
and Carson Hill, and man, the lineup is crazy.
We definitely gotta get Joe Maynard on one of the next ones. You know what I'm saying?
Joe Maynard.
I was like, remember, I still got a deposit.
Absolutely. So that's hey
man. I put a fat stack on him, but we had something pop up with the show, so we ended up not doing the show. So
hey, that's dope.
So hip hop. The way I created Noosh, we also have on a lineup too. I can't forget Noosh. He had just released a track.
He releases every week.
He's amazing.
He's dedicated. He releases every week.
He's the first you hear on the Out the Field with Drew Shotya.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it.
I gotta get him in the KILJOY studio one day.
Man, you just like tap in. So, but yeah, that lineup all came about because I've heard of Baby Ricky. I'm actually a fan of Baby Ricky, and I listen to local homegrown artist music. And when I listen to, I actually like, okay, I like that song, or I'm able to name the song. So I felt that Baby Ricky right now, and this is no discredit to any other artists out there. This was a very hard decision for me to reach out to different artists, as it is all the time when I create my lineups. But I felt like this lineup being the first one, they would bring a lot of energy, and they have a lot of how do you say, presence. Not just online, but I was on a show with Goofy and Baby Ricky and Braun, and their energy is wild, and people love them. So, and then bringing it all together with After, Rady K, and just having it go from like high energy and having it come back down to bars and even more bars.
Right,
It's just crazy, and then including Slim Saucy in there. I believe she's the only woman on the lineup.
She's the only woman I ever hear about talk about. That's why she's the first female rapper. I hate using that term, but the first female rapper.
She's a great artist, and I love her personality. And I felt she can run with everybody big on this lineup. So. Shout out to Slim Saucy for being the only woman on this lineup for hip hop.
I was gonna say, for hip hop.
No, for hip hop. But it means it's a big thing because it's a separate world. Like you have your indie and then you have hip hop as a separate world. So she's running in there strong. And shout out to Slim Saucy. I appreciate her. So.
Yeah, Bakersfield definitely has a really large like punk scene and heavy metal scene. It's probably the most dominant. But then right after, maybe even like side by side is hip hop. So a lot of these people that are on the bill, man, I know that they really put in the work to
get there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm always looking. I've found multiple artists off shares. So like, I always say this: always share your friends' music, or share even if it's if you feel it's minimal. A share always matters because I've always picked up artists, most of my artists, off a share. Like, I see their share and I'm like, dang, I was like, they're badass. Hell yeah. So I go click and then I get interested and I'm like, oh, okay, then you find places for them, or like, you know what I mean? You build a platform and you're like, they would do great. So that's the difference with me and building a show is I build off themes and I build off vibes, and each artist has a similar type of sound together. So when you come to my show, you're not just getting different type of things, you're getting all one type of feel, and I know
you're getting that atmosphere that she creates.
It's an experience.
Which she's also a mean decorator, and she does the stage setups and she makes them look.
Yeah, Bakersfield won't have anything like that, and prove me wrong, but I know that when it comes to me throwing events and having Pablo as my side person, like, and my side coworker, everything, like business partner, direction, he tells me everything, like what I shouldn't do and what I should do, and everybody needs a Pablo on their team. So the fact that I'm able to still do my theme shows and he's like, I believe in it. That's what makes me and Pablo a freaking threat.
Yeah, I'm like, she's like, I got this vision. I want to make it happen. She's like, this is what I want the stage to look like. I want it to feel like this. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, all right, I got you. There's some things I'll be like, I can't do that. It's a little much. But I'm like, I will make it down to
200 roses.
Yeah, I'm like, she was like, I want real roses. I'm like, yes. I'm like, I'm cool with the roses, but I'm like, you know how much roses cost? Like bundles. She's like, I want 4 big bouquets across the stage. I was like, we could do fake. We could do fake.
No, but I mean, and like in conclusion to that, I just pretty much I want to create an experience, and I feel a lot of artists here in Bakersfield deserve that platform and that praise and that pedestal. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We work hard to be vulnerable, and it's not easy. And sometimes I find myself not wanting to do anything at all, you know, when you're around a bunch of people. So salute to all the artists out there, and salute to everybody who's on our lineup at AIE for Roots Rockin. So.
Yeah, man. I mean, between the both of you, you got the punk, indie. I mean, you got indie too, but you know, it's really hip hop. It's really, you know, hip hop.
It's hop hip. Yeah, it's hop hip.
It's hop hip. We're jumbling today. Again, it's 420. You know?
It's funny. And I smoked my mom's container before.
But between the both of you, you know, you guys have a shared interest in all types of genres of music in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just keep it 100. There's very little people that I personally know that do stuff for the city. They do stuff in the city because of the city, but not for the city.
Yeah.
So this is something that, like you said, Bakersfield 1 doesn't have.
Yeah.
And it's really something that's going to change the groundwork of how everybody makes music. And
Definitely.
or even performs or just goes about music in general, whether it be a fan, other people who maybe want to throw a show or just whatever. You know?
Definitely. And I think what's important too is to be able to connect each artist with each other and have that type of community, even if it's like, for instance, I've like having a punk show, and then after like they support hip hop shows because their friend is a part of hip hop. So it's like a connection thing that I want to build. And I've been the good and crazy thing about me and Pablo is that we online it looks easy to throw these shows, but we literally so you have to go. So like with me, I have to go to shows and like scout and like, you know, and like I didn't, not even using the word have to, but I go to shows. I willingly go to these shows to check out artists, and that's what you have to do to be successful in throwing shows that feature homegrown artists, because if you're not in the know, then how are you gonna know?
Absolutely.
And you can't expect people to support you if you're not supporting them.
Exactly.
That's why I need to get out to more shows. I try my best. I'm definitely, if it's the 28th, I got time.
Tag along with us. We have a co-calendar. I'm working on the calendar.
I'm gonna have somebody with a camera with me. But yeah, absolutely right. You got to be going to shows if you want to be able to curate shows that everybody will go to, because it's like you can't book people that are putting in the work to do it. And
not even to mention, I mean, Pablo's like been doing this for a while too, and being a part of building a community where it's providing platforms and putting other people on in front of bigger stages and crowds. But like Pablo is, I think he done music for how long?
I've been doing it for almost 6 years now. I've been
like
5.5.
But like him actually doing music as an artist, he knows so many artists here without even being an artist. So that tells you a lot about him and his work ethic, and like him really diving in to create something for artists here to do.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. I was like, I don't make any music, but I'm like, my thing is all about making and putting people's music out there.
Absolutely.
You know,
same here. I don't make music myself, but I'm all
just
about
like KILJOY,
putting
like
other people's music out there for everybody else to enjoy.
Because you're so passionate about getting this out. See, and that's why it's important that we get this out and get so much promo about Roots Rockin', is because we're going to be able to see, like, you know, supporting from all aspects, from different artists, and meeting new businesses, and maybe you know, collaborating with some of the businesses that are there. Like for example, I did a event about 4 years ago in Oxnard, and it was at this place called The Lab. I believe it's The Lab. Well, they had vendors. Before I even went to perform, I saw the lineup of vendors and graphic artists and who was vending, and I happened to get a logo off of one of the vendors there because I liked her artwork. Again, this is connections, and these are very vital in Bakersfield because it helps build a stronger community of music.
Absolutely. So, real quick for the people, what day is Roots Rockin'?
April 28th. It's a Friday, and it starts at 2. It's a little early. First couple hours are mostly 24 kg DJing. If you know him.
24 kg.
Yeah, he's going to be DJing. For you and I as well. For you and I, 24 kg. And then we got DJ Dynamite on the lineup doing some cutting and mixing. So, but April 28th starts at 2 p.m. Doesn't end till 11. It's going to be a private park, the Shriners, which is also a charity organization. So when you're coming to our events, you're helping out hospital charities. So at least when it's there, that when we were there, it's going to hospital charities, and then we're going to do about 5% as well from everything we make to donate as on top of what we pay them.
That's good, man. I'm super excited. Like I said, this is my first time hearing about this.
Thank you.
I love everybody you got for the
you.
hip hop stage. I'm waiting to I want to get into punk. I low-key love heavy metal. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I'm wanting to know more of the homegrown artists that music. So
that we got the best of the best in the lineup.
His lineup is
great. I'm like each of those bands are normally not on the same bill. None of those bands are ever on the same bill. But every time those bands are on a bill here in town, they fill up a place separately, and it's different crowds.
Yeah.
So when we got all these headliners right here too for this metal scene, you could guarantee the metal scene should showing up out there for all of them.
I'm looking forward to the mosh pit.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be crazy.
I'm 31 years old, a little up there.
We gotta
Make sure you go in the mosh pit and not the two-step pit, because that's not the pit you want to be in.
Real quick, what's the two-step pit?
Okay. All right. Mosh pit. You see mosh pits, the shoving and pushing and circle pitting. It's all fun. That's more punk. That's more punk and metal. Now the hardcore bands, you gotta be careful with that, because they like to throw their fists. That's where you start seeing the spin. That's the one where you see the spin kicks and them throwing their arms. Yeah, that's the dangerous pit. When you see the two-step pit happen, back up. I'd say that. I don't even like going in there. You say I've ran through the pit one time to try to edit, because I do sound as well there for my shows. So I've ran through the pit trying to get to like a cable or a knockdown drum and been sideswiped so hard, just boom, and I'm like, I can't even get mad about it because I ran through the center of it. So I'm like, that was my fault. I should have went around. You know what I mean?
I had no idea the difference. I
Yes.
might have to just stand on the outside.
When the punk bands, you can tell the music. The punks, you always got that punk tempo, but that's your mosh pit that you want to be in. Yeah.
So, well, again, thank you guys for stopping by the KILJOY Studios. Looking forward to Roots Rockin' and see what you guys are looking forward to, man.
Shit.
All right.
Thank you for having us.